welcome back. Now, if you're just tuning in, this is River's Edge Today. I'm Dr. David J. Rogers, and we're here with Brooke Freeman. Brooke, this has been such an awesome show. I mean, I like the discussion that's happening here. You know, we talked about ministry to the underserved and how widows and orphans are just really important to God's attention, and it should be ours.
Absolutely.
How ministry to widows. That I know in your life experience, as well as the revelation the Lord gave you, how can we, or how should we, minister to widows, someone who's had that life devastation happen to them?
That is a multifaceted question, right? Because us being emotional beings, us being spiritual beings and physical beings, right? That those implications for a widow are not only a trifecta, they're individualized. And the only way to know how to minister to a widow is to know her. And so in my late 20s with a 20-month-old living on 6 acres of land with a 20-year-old septic tank and a double wide trailer, living the life, right? That I had no idea, and nor was I going to get on the tractor that my husband had lost his life on to take care of 6 acres. Someone coming to visit me would know that that was a need, and I wouldn't have to ask my neighbor up the road for me to pay him to come and do those things, right? I was very, very blessed in that season of being career oriented, that I had the financial means to be able to do that. A lot of people don't. We assume a lot of things because we live in a very blessed nation. We assume that Social Security and life insurance policies and all the things are in place, and they're not always. As a matter of fact, more times than not, more times they are not in place. More than 50% of the widows in the United States live at or below the poverty level. And that is something we can't really fathom. But it's not just about us, the financial provision that may come from a government source, because there are emotional implications that come with that. It's not just grief and loneliness, it's fears. It's overwhelming sense of all the things that are the responsibility that fall on you right now. And in those things, the practical implications, the septic tank going out and the air conditioner not working, or just not being able to buy groceries, along with my grief and loneliness, can crowd out Jesus, because all I can see is all of the circumstances that are right in my face. And they're so real and so tangible that I cannot even experience the comfort and the peace that Jesus desires to give us. So how can we? We come alongside and enter into their world. We sit at their home. We visit with them. We engage in conversation to hear their hearts. And it comes out in conversation. It comes out when you ask, how can I pray for you right now? That we have the opportunity to respond and to help with those practical and emotional needs to the extent to which we're able, so that they can experience the peace and the comfort and the love of Christ that He intends for them to fully enjoy in that season.
So what I'm hearing you say is that there's a tendency for people to just, well, they're going through their thing, and that, we're going to let them go through, have that season of grief. But what is really needed is find out what's going on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
What are those things that they have, and what are those things that they don't have? Simple things like, do you need your grass mowed?
Right.
Simple things like, I live just a few houses down, and I see that the trash can is still sitting out by the curb, and it's been a couple days since trash day. Why not just, roll that back there and check on them? Hey, how you doing?
Right, right.
Getting engaged in our lives. So it's the simple ministry of relationship.
Yes.
Finding out what's going on. And you mentioned not having enough groceries, and that would be having that conversation with them. It's like, when is the last time you've been able to go out and do some shopping? Uh, my mom was the neighborhood mom. So if anyone had a need, she would see it and she would check box it. It's like, okay.
Right.
So if it was her and there was a situation going on, she would be the first to be over there to mother you. And second, it's like, well, I'll just watch your babies while you go shopping.
Yes.
And, if all you're doing is going down to the mall or to the store to walk around for an hour to breathe, and, you don't buy anything, it's like, that's one of the things I've had to learn from my wife. Sometimes she shops, doesn't buy anything. She just shops. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
sometimes women do that.
And, well, that's that moment that she needs, and be able to
Right.
maybe watch that baby, or
Right.
and just let them have that moment to breathe.
That and there's a when we say the word widow, our minds can tend to go to a certain image, right? Someone who's maybe a little older. There's a certain age group that we identify as, which is just by the nature of life, right? Like, but there are widows who are in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, right? That have children at home, that get no break, that don't have someone to take a shift with the kids or to relieve them to just go to the store by themselves for nothing. And so the very practical ways that you can come alongside widows are unique to each and every one of them. And the relationship is what affords you the privilege of seeing those. And your consistency of being present is what affords the trust for them to let you in to those heart spaces.
One of the things as a minister, and I minister at our local church, Rivers Edge Church here in Montgomery, is for those who are going through that, is continuing to let that person know they're valued. That they're not, oh, well, so and so's not with you. It was all about that other. No, it's about them. The most important thing that we can do for them.